Hey everyone, and welcome back to English with Ghofran, the podcast where we learn English and improve our lives at the same time. I'm Ghofran, and as always, I'm here with my amazing co-host, Neil. Neil, how are you feeling today?
Hey Ghofran, I'm feeling really good, full of energy and excited about today's topic. What about you?
I'm doing great too. Yesterday I had a moment where I just paused and thought, why is it that some people completely change their lives while others stay stuck in the same situation for years?
I've thought about that so many times. You see someone go from struggling to successful, and you start wondering, what's their secret? Is it luck? Or are they doing something differently?
Exactly. And then I started thinking about my own experience learning English. At the beginning, it felt impossible. So many words, so many rules, so much confusion. But slowly, step by step, things started to click.
That's so true. When I first started learning, I believed that if I just memorized more vocabulary, I'd be fluent. But I later realized it wasn't only about words. It was about building habits, changing how I think, and actually using what I learned.
Right. And that's when it hit me. Life works the same way. Big changes don't happen overnight. They're not the result of one huge decision, but of small choices we make every single day.
And that's exactly what today's episode is about. How to change your life.
In today's episode, we're also introducing some intermediate level words and phrases to help you express yourself more clearly.
And later, in Charlotte's vocabulary section, she'll explain those words, show their meanings, and help you use them naturally in real-life conversations.
So make sure you stay until the end, because by then, you won't just have ideas to improve your life, you'll also have new English vocabulary to support your journey.
You know, Ghofran, after talking about how change happens little by little, it makes me wonder, why do so many people struggle to change in the first place?
That's a great question. Change sounds exciting, a fresh start, a new chapter. But the truth is, most people never actually change. Why? Because change is hard. Let's talk about some common reasons people feel stuck.
The first one is fear of failure. People ask, what if I try and fail? But a better question is, what if you try and succeed?
Exactly. Every successful person has failed before. The difference is, they didn't quit. Another reason is lack of direction. People want a better life, but they don't know where to begin. They wait for the perfect plan instead of taking the first step.
And then there's negative self-talk. Saying things like, I'm not good at this, or I'm just not a language person. These thoughts stop progress before it even starts.
One of the biggest traps of all is waiting for motivation. People say, I'll start when I feel ready. But the truth is, motivation comes after action, not before.
That really reminds me of a personal struggle I had. I kept waiting for the perfect moment to start, but that moment never came. The change only started when I finally took the first step.
Same here. When I was learning English, I kept thinking, I'm not good at this. But I eventually realized the only way to improve was to actually practice.
Exactly. Once you understand what's holding you back, you can start breaking those barriers. So, how do we actually start changing?
That's where small daily improvements come in. People think they need a dramatic transformation, but real change happens gradually. Have you heard of the 1% rule?
Yes. If you improve just 1% every day, you'll be 37 times better in a year. That's because small efforts compound over time, just like money in a bank account.
Exactly. And this connects to the power of habits. In Atomic Habits, James Clear explains how habits shape our identity. Small changes might feel insignificant at first, but over time, they redefine who you are.
Like reading for 10 minutes a day, practicing English for 5 minutes daily, or replacing negative thoughts with positive ones.
I love real-life examples. I know someone who became fluent in English just by listening to podcasts every day. No intense study plan, just consistency.
That's inspiring. The main takeaway is simple. Small, consistent actions lead to big results over time.
And while action is important, there's something even deeper we need to talk about. Mindset.
Absolutely. How we think about change makes all the difference. There's the growth mindset and the fixed mindset. With a growth mindset, you believe, I can improve. With a fixed mindset, you believe, I'll never be good at this.
Our brain focuses on what we train it to notice. That's called the reticular activating system.
Like when you learn a new word and suddenly hear it everywhere.
Exactly. If you keep telling yourself, I can't do this, your brain will find proof. But if you say, I'm improving every day, your brain will notice progress.
That's why mindset tools like affirmations, visualization, and gratitude are so powerful.
And finally, let's talk about perfection. There's a saying I love. Done is better than perfect. If you wait for perfection, you'll never start. Imperfect action is always better than no action.
So here's a simple challenge for you. Think of one thing you've been postponing and take one small step today.
Because action creates momentum, and momentum builds confidence. And now, let's move on to vocabulary. Charlotte is here to break down some key words from today's episode.
Hello, English learners, and welcome to Charlotte's Vocabulary Breakdown. In today's episode, Ghofran and Neil talked about change, mindset, habits, and the environment around us. Now, let's take a closer look at some key vocabulary from today's discussion and see how you can use these words naturally in real-life conversations. Transformation. Meaning, a big or complete change in someone's life or situation. Example, after years of hard work, Maria experienced a major transformation in her career, going from an intern to a company director. Mindset. Meaning, the way you think about situations, challenges, or yourself. Example, Jake changed his mindset about exercise, and now he enjoys working out every morning. Surroundings. Meaning, the people, environment, and conditions around you. Example, Anna moved to a quieter place because she wanted more positive surroundings. Momentum. Meaning, the force that keeps progress moving forward. Example, once Daniel started writing a little every day, he built momentum and finished his book much faster than expected. Exposure. Meaning, the amount of contact you have with something. Example, watching English movies increased Sarah's exposure to native speakers and improved her listening skills. Growth-driven. Meaning, focused on improvement and personal development. Example, Leo joined a growth-driven study group that encouraged him to keep learning and setting new goals. Visualization. Meaning, creating a mental image of success or a future goal. Example, every night, Mark visualizes himself speaking confidently during his presentations. Affirmation. Meaning, a positive statement you say to yourself to build confidence. Example, Jane starts her day with the affirmation, I am capable and improving every day. Community. Meaning, a group of people who share common interests or goals. Example, David found an online community of English learners who motivated him to practice daily. Accountable. Meaning, being responsible for your own actions and progress. Example, Mia sets weekly goals and tracks her progress to stay accountable in her fitness journey. That's it for today's vocabulary section. Try using these words in your own sentences to make them part of your active vocabulary. Now, let's head back to Ghofran and Neil.
Thank you, Charlotte. Those were really helpful words and clear examples. So, Neil, if we had to leave our listeners with one final message from today's episode, what would it be?
I'd say this. You have more control over your life than you think. Small daily actions, the right mindset, and a supportive environment can truly change everything.
Absolutely. And remember, real progress doesn't happen overnight. Every small step you take today moves you closer to the life you want.
If you enjoyed today's episode, let us know in the comments. What's one small change you're starting today?
Don't forget to subscribe, share this episode with someone who might need it, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our future lessons. See you next time on English with Ghofran. Bye-bye.